My name is ReeceS22. I'm from Goodman Oaks Church of Christ in South Haven, Mississippi. Have any of you ever had to deal with a terrible customer? You know, the ones that take the meaning, or the saying, the customer is always right, way too far. You know, the ones where no matter what you tell them, they keep fighting with you because you're wrong and they're always right. You know, the ones that you wish you could just strike down, cuss out, kick out. But you can't because you're at work. So you have to treat them with kindness. You have to treat them with mercy, and you have to treat them with respect. Now, let's say you get off work after dealing with this terrible customer. They've ruined your day, you're tired, and you just want to go home and rest. You get in your car, and you're driving off, and this person cuts you off. They roll down their window, and they flip you the bird, and you realize it was that same terrible customer from before. Now they've wronged you twice. You've turned your cheek once, and now you have to do it twice. But you're tired. You don't worry about it. You just keep driving. You forget about it. Now let's say after that they brake check you, and all of a sudden you're hitting their car. Now you're the one in the wrong. Are you still able to treat them with that kindness, with that respect, with that mercy, after they've wronged you 3 times now? How many cheeks are you supposed to turn? After all that pain that they've caused you, it seems right to hate them. It seems right for you to treat them with disrespect, right? Is that not what they deserve? Is that not the natural response? While that may be the ordinary response, it's not the extraordinary response. Matthew 5:43. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. I read this and I see the phrase, love your enemies, and I can't help but to think, well, that doesn't mean all my enemies, right? That doesn't mean the ones who have caused me trauma, right? I'm not supposed to show love to them. They don't deserve it. How can God expect me to show these people compassion? It seems impossible, right? It seems way too hard. But is the gate to heaven not the narrow path? This week I struggled a lot with this passage. Every time I sat down and I read my passage or started to work on my sermon, I relived all that pain, all that trauma that my enemy bestowed upon me. And I thought about the fact that I was supposed to love this person. I was supposed to treat them with compassion. I would cry out to God, how am I supposed to love this person? Have you not seen what they have done to me? Have you not been there with me through all this pain and all this suffering? Do they not deserve it? I'm going to keep reading my passage. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. The big part in this is the word and, in my eyes. And the unjust, the good and the evil. What it speaks to me is it's more of a love your neighbor and your enemy, for if they're put together, are they not equal? Just something to think about. Are we always the good in the world? Are we always the perfect? I mean, I know I'm not. Yet God still treats us with that same grace. Imagine if he didn't, though. Imagine if every time we treated someone wrongly, or every time we sinned, he wouldn't make the sun rise on us, or he wouldn't send the good upon us. And he treated us with anger, and he would strike us down. He would kick us out. Is that not what we deserve? For we have wronged him, right? This reminds me of a story in Luke. Luke 10:29. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to this place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. These were enemies. Jews and Samaritans they hated each other. They were real enemies. But yet, the Samaritan was able to go help that Jew. He took care of him. Now, I'm going to read the last verse of my passage. You therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. What does perfect mean? Does it mean without blemish? Does it mean sinless? How are we to be without blemish? How are we to be perfect? Well, let me show you another meaning. What if it means complete? What if it means mature? When you stay angry at your enemies, who is it affecting? Does it not keep you up at night? Does it not burn a hole in your heart? Does it not make you more angry? But loving them and forgiving them, it gets rid of that anger and that hole. It makes you more complete. Jesus was perfect, and in his last few hours, he spent those last breaths loving and forgiving those who put him on the cross, saying, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And he said, it is complete. It is perfect. Now, I want you to think of your enemies. I want you to think of the thoughts you've had about these people. I want you to think about the prayers you've had for these people. It doesn't matter what they've done to become your enemy. It doesn't matter if they stole your lunch money. It doesn't matter if they abused you mentally or physically. It doesn't matter if they killed your family member. Are they not still God's child? Are they not still the spitting image of God? I want to tell you the story of a man. Botham John was a student who went to Harding, and on a man and a great leader. On September 6, 2018, so as he was walking over there, the police officer walked in. Didn't think twice about it. When they went to court, how much he forgives her, how much he loves her, and how he knows that both of them would want her to just do her best, and how that would be giving life to God. If he would be able to get up and hug Amber, both of them. This is an extraordinary example of forgiving your enemy. Love and mercy. If Brad was able to forgive and show her compassion and love, we find. Why is it that we throw our enemies to the side? I invite you that next time you have that back, I want you to, and I want you to invite them to know God.